Peace and love, creatives. Today we are getting ready to unbox some art supplies that was sent to me by the company Phoenix, and they have requested for me to do a review giving my honest opinion about their watercolors. And they also sent me some watercolor canvases to try. Now, I've never ever used, well, that's not true. I have used a watercolor canvas before, but I've never used theirs. And I've only used a watercolor canvas once before. And although it was a different kind of piece of art that I did with it, this is going to be interesting, trying to make some art on this canvas with the watercolor. So the box that the watercolor set comes in is a really nice, sleek black box with their brand name on it. They have their brand logo stamped on the tin, and your tin is your typical standard watercolor tin. They give us a leaflet with the pigment information and with the other colors that they have in their line, which you can order separately, by the way. If there is a color you fancy, you can go on their website and order a separate watercolor if that's what you would like. I will leave all of that in the description if you are curious. They also have light fast information on their leaflet, and as far as I'm concerned, or to my knowledge, the light fast information is reputable. So here's how the watercolors look in their tin when you receive them. This is how the swatch sheet looks, and they provide one for us. Now, before I start doing the swatches, I realized that they didn't have the pigment information, so I just quickly wrote the pigment information on the swatch sheet just so that I can have it. I also was looking at the sheet, and I checked off the colors that did come in this set, and I also started looking at colors that I might want to purchase because why not? And there on the back is where you get all the light fast ratings and all that. This is just a quick swatch. I'm going to swatch it again on my catalog so that I can just give you what the pigment information is on that. This swatch sheet is specifically for just me to refer to them when I'm painting and if I'm looking for a specific color. So here, the first color I swatch is a Phoenix Lemon, and it's a PY175. Now the next one I cannot, for the life of me, say for some reason, so I'm gonna try. It's Aurelion. I might have said that really, really bad, but that's what it is. It's a PY40. Then next is New Gamboge, and that's a PY150 and a PR209. We get a Phoenix Orange, P062. Cadmium Free Red, PR254 and P064. Permanent Rose, PV19. How pretty is that color? Ooh, and the bloom, just gorgeous. Next color is Quinacridone Magenta. Not so much of a bloom on that one, but still a pretty color, and that's a PR122. We got a lot of their name brand colors, which is pretty cool. And this one has a beautiful bloom, and this one is called Phoenix Violet, and that's a PV23, and it is just a beautiful purple. Next is cerulean blue, and that is a PB35, nice and soft. We get a French ultramarine, and that's a PB29. Next color is Phoenix blue, green shade, and that's a PB15. Now all of these colors are either 2-star or 3-star light fast, and for the most part they're either semi-opaque or transparent, and there's a couple of opaque colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opaque colors. Next color is Prussian blue, which is a PB27. Now this color I just love so much. It's a cobalt turquoise, and that's a PG50, and I just love that color. It's just so pretty. We get a Phoenix green, yellow shade, PG36, PG76. I'll write it down. Next is a sap green, and that is a PG36 and a PY110. Next is a hooker's green, and the pigment information is PY110 and PG36. Now this one is another of their I guess house-made colors. It's a Phoenix green, and it's a PG7, and it's just a really, really pretty color. I end up using that color a lot in my paintings. Next color is yellow ochre, and that's a PY143. This one is raw umber, and that's a PBR7. Next is a burnt umber, and that's a PBR7 and a PR101. Now, although we could have made this with the colors that we have, I do like having this convenience color in this set. Next color is Indian red, and I love Indian red. It's a great color, and that's a PR101. Next is a Van Dyke brown, and that's a PR101 and a PBK6. It's yet another color we could have made, but it's nice to have that as a convenience color. And the last two colors were Payne's Gray and Lamp Black. The Payne's Gray was PB15, PBK6, and PV19 to make that Payne's Gray. And the Lamp Black was a PBK6/7. Now, I'm sorry that I did not, the camera wasn't showing on it, and that's why you couldn't see that final swatch. But yeah. So moving on from the swatches and into the painting. In this painting, I'm just using the colors that while I was swatching, I really wanted to I want to use those colors. But also while I was swatching, I wanted to paint like a night scene with like this big humongous moon in the background, and for some reason I had frogs on the brain, and I wanted my frog to have a hat. So that's pretty much what I did. And I tell you this much, I was having a lot of fun using these paints in this piece. not only was I able to layer on top magnificently without disturbing the under, but I also was able to blend the colors together and not have harsh lines, unless I wanted harsh lines. These paints, if you want to go really heavy and have like a thick consistency, you can totally do that with these paints. But if you want to have a nice light, just very nice soft color with the paints, you can do that too. Re-wetting them was not an issue at all, and it was really nice because I had to take these little moments in my day to do these paintings. I couldn't just do them 100% all at once, and honestly it's really hard, or not hard, it's just not the best advice if you're doing paintings like this and just doing them in one sitting. You need the paint, well, personally I need the paint to dry, and I need to step away from my paintings sometimes and come back to them and see if I want to add more, or if I want to take away, or if I messed up somewhere. I like stepping away from my painting. I'm learning that that's definitely something that is going to help me in my with my art journey. Now here, I was just having fun playing with shadows on things, and I just love how I was able to layer on top of the mushrooms a nice shadow of the grass, the blade of grass just over the mushroom. I just love it. And then for the top hat, I decided to not use black, just all the way black. I added a little bit of blue, Payne's gray in there, because I wanted his eyeballs to be the super black, and I felt like it would not, I felt like it just wouldn't, I didn't want it all to blend together, you know what I mean? So I did that. Then in the background, I re-wet the moon to put like the crater effect on the moon, and I just wanted to see how liftable the paint was once it was down, and it worked out exactly how I expected it to work out. These paints are really nice. They're really nice. I had a lot of fun painting this piece with them. Once I was all done with the piece, I wanted to show you how it looked with just me using the actual watercolors, but then I wanted to add these stars for the nighttime effect on them, but I did want to just show you how it looked with just using the watercolors. There was no white provided in the watercolor set, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't have used it the way I'm using this acrylic paint pen anyway. White is more to make a gouache effect than in my personal opinion, than to put on top as white embellishments. And this is the final piece. And I really do like the way it came out. It was really fun to work with these watercolors. And here's another look at the swatch, all nice and dry. Now we're gonna move on to the watercolor canvas, and I left the entire paint process. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, I just wanted to show you that they are very sticky, and when I closed them, they kind of stuck to the top of the tin, which is fine. It's not a horrible thing or a big deal, but they were still wet, and I closed the tin, and they just stuck to the tin because they're juicy paints, which is a good thing. I think, in my personal opinion, I think it's a good thing. Now, I left the whole painting process of the watercolor canvas just to show the flow on the canvas, because it's important, in my opinion. Like, it's important for you to really see how different painting on this watercolor canvas is than painting on watercolor paper. It's like a totally different beast. You have to approach it in a different way, and I was really just trying to feel, you know what I mean, feel my painting in a sense. And I knew where I wanted to go with this piece, but to be honest with you, it kind of like, it took the wheel and it was like, no, you think you want to go this way, but you're not. So I just kept throwing paint at it and trying to get it to where I was happy with the outcome. I initially wanted to have a phoenix in this piece, just because the name of the company is Phoenix, and the struggle that I had with this Phoenix was real. It was real. I struggled so hard. I was getting ready to put embellishments with the yellow watercolor like I was just doing, but when I realized that it was lifting the paint from underneath, I realized that I had to go in a totally different direction with my approach. So I kind of chiseled away some of the watercolor with my watercolor brush, and from there I let the paint dry again, and then I decided to make it seem like the Phoenix was like the galaxy, and I just threw some stars in there, and then I took the acrylic paint pen and used it to just make it look like the feathers on the Phoenix. And I think that I saved the piece. I want to go in after I've had a little bit of time away from the painting. I want to go in with some gouache, some acrylic gouache, and maybe make the wings a little bit more stand out. I just feel like it's a little flat right now, but this is where I ended with the canvas, and I don't know, I think it's okay. I think I did a good job. I want to thank you for watching and staying till the end, and peace and love.